It's Coventry City's first major trophy in 104 years, and Tottenham Hotspur have been beaten in an FA Cup final for the very first time. David Fleet numbed by what's happened. George Curtis and John Sillett elated. Coventry's name was on the cup after all, and there are one or two players who still can't quite believe it. The management team can, and the supporters certainly do. Kilcryan, the injured captain, John Sillett, the exultant coach, George Curtis, Mr. Coventry they call him, the general manager, reviving players who've got to go up and get their medals. And out of your picture, Spurs are desolate. Jimmy Hill, what a proud moment for this club and this city.
It's a proud moment for me too, to see people like George and John enjoying this wonderful time. And as commentators take so much stick, a word of congratulation for predicting the score accurately 3-2 in a national newspaper, John. I don't know how you came to arrive at that, but you got it exactly right. But did you say it was going to be such a spectacular game? Because I don't know when I've enjoyed a game of football more.
No, I have to say it's the most exciting FA Cup final on which I've had the pleasure of commentating. Certainly comparable with that Spurs replay. This time the winners are Coventry City, and Brian Kilcryan, who had never been to Wembley Stadium until last week, vowing he would never go there until he was involved in a cup final, now has the honour, despite being injured, of walking up those steps and being the last captain ever to do so before the Royal Boxes moved here at Wembley. He's the proud leader of the Coventry side who put a trophy on their mantelpiece for the first time in over a century. He will climb gingerly up those first 35 steps and then take the 4 paces along as Coventry City make history by winning the FA Cup. What a proud moment for this Midlands club. The Sky Blues are sky high. John Poynton, the chairman, congratulates Kilcryan. And there will be few more popular winners than a club who've waited so long. These Coventry players who joked, we always win our last match of the season, usually it's been to avoid relegation. Today it's to lay their hands on that most coveted of all football trophies. Greg Downs couldn't have believed this a couple of years ago. Cyril Regis, who lived just down the road from Wembley. Lloyd McGrath, only 22. Trevor Peake, a hero. Graham Rodger, who wasn't even in the squad or a sub until yesterday. Nick Pickering, Michael Ginn, David Phillips, who switched positions, Keith Houchin, the man who seems almost married to the FA Cup, and David Bennett, who had a hand in 2 of the goals. Spurs, on this occasion, sad losers. Twice in front, and they finished the season without a trophy, having finished 3rd in the league, been knocked out in the semi-finals of the Littlewoods Cup, and now beaten at Wembley, which to them in the past, Glenn Hoddle, maybe his last game for the club. What a sad note on which to end. Poor Gary Mabbott. Who would wish an own goal to settle an FA Cup final? But it has done today. And Wembley, so often Spurs' second home, has slammed the door in their faces today in a match superbly refereed by Neil Midgley, who entered into the spirit of the occasion and sustained the flow of the game in quite commendable fashion. trophy for the first time in the hands of Coventry City, the 41st different winners of the FA Cup, and only the second club to come to Wembley for the first time since the war and win it. And in the beleaguered Midlands, well, they've had a thin time, certainly in the West Midlands this season. They have something to celebrate as the dispirited but still gallant losers Tottenham Hotspur go to the Coventry fans and receive and give back a warm reception. But all those photographers, or most of them, are looking the other way, because they're waiting for something that's never happened before. A team group showing Coventry City with a major honour. Their kids won the Youth Cup at Highfield Road last Wednesday. The senior side have done them proud here today. And it's one of football's fairy stories, how this club has been revived and revitalised this season. Well, you took them into the First Division, Jimmy Hill, but this day has been a long time coming.
It has indeed, but I'm really enjoying at the moment, not only John Sillett, Snoz as they call him, in that jubilant mood. I mean, he must feel so pleased. But the Spurs side sportingly going round the stadium, as we've just seen to the Coventry fans. There's the jubilation, but the sportsmanship is over on the other side of the stadium.
What's so nice for those players, Jimmy, is that many of them were either rejected or passed on by other clubs. They were almost sent to Coventry in one sense of the word. And here they are now, a team in the real sense of the word, who've got themselves together and made something of one or two careers that were going the other way.
Indeed, and it says an awful lot for the leadership of the dynamic two at the top there, because they've revitalised their careers, they've revitalised the club, and they've inspired a city again, a city which has been depressed, as we know, in recent years. And those lads out there have brought life back to it, which is really wonderful. I mean, even on top of everything else, brought the leaders of two parties to Wembley, would you believe? Recognising that football is the national game again, and that it has so much to offer, and that other games really, whatever one says about them, can't compare with the way in which this game stirs the nation. Look at that.
Those pictures may not please Tottenham supporters, but my word, they'll do football in general a world of good, because we've seen again that the underdog can rise to the occasion and can win the day. But more important, perhaps, we've seen confirmation that the quality and entertainment value of association football is on the up again. And there, up in Scotland, are the celebrations at Hampden Park. St Mirren have won that competition for the first time since the late 50s, so it's a day for the underdog. David Bennett, the hero of the semi-final, and certainly as involved as anybody in the winning of the cup. But wherever you look, you see those two ruddy, excited faces of the management team, and players who never believed this would happen to them. Thanks to George Curtis and John Sillett, they all acknowledge that. Their careers have gone through a metamorphosis. And this colourful, popular club from the West Midlands, who've never won a trophy before, have suddenly experienced a season and a day that they will never forget for the rest of their lives. Brian Kilcoyne and his team, George Curtis and his partner, they're going to milk this moment, and rightly so. The sky blue revolution of the 60s culminates in a quite unexpected way in the 80s as Coventry City put their name on the most famous trophy in football after one of the most fluctuating and thrilling finals of the post-war period. Coventry City 3, Tottenham Hotspur 2, after extra time.
And so the 3-1 outsiders win the cup, both north and south of the border. One of the great FA Cup finals ever seen here at Wembley. We certainly hope you've enjoyed our coverage. Our thanks to Dave Bassett and Kenny Dalglish for being with us as well. But absolutely no doubt at all that today, football has been the winner. Goodbye from us all.
The city of Coventry has this afternoon witnessed some amazing scenes. It seems that most of the population of some 350,000 have turned out to pay tribute to the exploits of their footballers. Winners yesterday of the FA Cup, their first major trophy in their history of 104 years. Here is the team arriving at the end of a 6.5-mile journey as they come in down High Street towards the old and the new council offices, towards what is known as Speaker's Corner. And really, in their wildest imagination, the players could not have expected the sort of reception they've been given. If ever there was proof of the effect of football on the human spirit, this afternoon has certainly provided it. People of all ages and from every possible vantage point have come to cheer their heroes and to say thank you, because there can be no question that the exploits yesterday at Wembley have lifted thousands in the city of Coventry. Nick Pickering there with the cup, Cyril Regis with the special hat that shows the Twin Towers of Wembley. There it is again. Dave Bennett holding the cup, Trevor Peake. And as we look back down High Street towards Broadgate, let's go back to the journey which started some 3 hours ago when the team arrived at their hotel by the M6. John Sinnott showing the cup after the team's overnight stay in Rugby.
George, well done. Cheers. George, 104 years, now the cup. How are you looking forward to the trip to the city?
Good, really looking forward to it.
You got the cup. How are you looking forward to this ride through the city today?
Oh, well, I've been looking forward to it all night, and the people have already started coming out in numbers.
It's going to be a really emotional day for you, isn't it?
Very much so, yes. I don't think it could be any more emotional than yesterday, though.
Mate, you've got the FA Cup after 104 years. How are you looking forward to this trip to the city today?
I think it'll be very emotional for a lot of the players. You can see by the reception we received here, and this is just the beginning. I'm sure that nearly everybody in Coventry will be out this afternoon to cheer us on.
And I don't think the rain is going to make any difference.
No, not at all. I was a bit worried about that, but it looks as though it's going to make completely no difference at all.
Silly question, but you couldn't be happier. You seem in tremendous form this morning.
Yeah, tremendous. I mean, we've had obviously a heavy night last night, and hopefully it will carry on through the day. We're just enjoying every second of it.
George Curtis, after such a long wait for the cup, I wonder what it actually means to show it off to the people of Coventry?
Well, I think it means a lot. The lads have been bubbling all night. You know, they did tremendously well. They were behind twice and come back. And, you know, proved against all bookie odds that they are good enough to do something. Coming and looking at the crowds across the road from here, you know, they're going to really enjoy it. We're all going to enjoy it. We decided that today is celebration day.
Very emotional day for you after so many years at Coventry.
Oh, I don't know about emotional, but it's good. It's nice. You know, we'd set out to do something at the beginning of the season, and it's nice to know that something did come out of it. And it's great for the city, great for the lads, great for John, great for yourself, and great for everybody, really.
The words of Mr. Coventry, George Curtis, taking the team off on their journey. 2 buses, the front bus carrying the team, the second bus will be with the wives, and here, waiting to watch them, the nurses at the Walsgrave Hospital. This was all kept secret, that the team would be coming around the hospital. Just look at the scenes there. Youngsters being given an advantage point. I wonder if they understand what's going on. This is the hospital, incidentally, where the Angels series was shot. BBC One series. And the nurses look pretty enough to take part. Flags on and off. Brian Kilcline with the cup, and nice to see Brian Burrows, who missed the final because of injury, is up there with them. That's a nice family scene. Some outlandish hats. Absolute mass of people everywhere you look. And everything seemingly coloured in sky blue. As are all the team. John Sinnott doing the pointing, Nick Pickering up in the front. No easy job for the police as we go down Anstey Road in towards the city. Tribute to Dave Bennett, who got the so important equaliser, scored the winner in the semi-final too. People hanging out of windows. Trevor Peake and Brian Kilcline, who shared the captaincy yesterday, sharing the cup now. Just a bit of room at this stage of the route for people to move along. Greg Downs at the front. I said they were on every possible vantage point. Look at that. And Steve Edgley. Didn't get on, but still a vital part. 19 in a week's time. Oh, say, John Sinnott donning a sky blue wig. And we're on the edge of Gosforth Green, and now going off down Galson Road. Teddy Bear has pride of place. Steve Grizovic now holding the cup. All ages, everybody has become involved in what has to be one of the most deserving successes in the history of the FA Cup. For all the unlucky Gary Mabbutt, the band of the Royal Fusiliers now leading them down Union Street. Look back, they had to play 3 matches away. They were an early goal down in the semi-final. That went into extra time. They were an early goal down in the final. That went into extra time, and they came out on top. Church of St. John the Baptist. His religion seems to be totally football. Doesn't need the encouragement, madam. Little conga between police car and the team bus. Mass crowds everywhere you look. and the bus finding it extremely difficult to make its way through, but the players in no hurry. Everywhere's been bedecked in sky blue and white since the semi-final victory. The banks, the shops, people's homes. And look at them all now, all on the roof there in the far distance. Many determined to follow. Of innovation at Coventry over the years, the sky blue specials, the radio sky blue, the years of Jimmy Hill, which was said to be a miracle, and then the way was lost for a while until players who were there with Jimmy Hill have come back to run the show. George Curtis, John Sillett, Mick Cairns, who runs the reserves, and Mick Coop, who replaced John Sillett as a fullback, now the youth coach. Roger at the back there, did so well when he came on. David Phillips now holding the cup. Brian Kilcline, who had to be helped up with crutches to get onto the bus, in the front seat or the front stand. It's come to a halt again, and it's happened so often around this route. Steve Grizovic at the back, looking just slightly concerned. George Curtis in the far corner. Trevor Peake, Mickey Ginn. Ian Painter there too. One of the unlucky ones who didn't make the final team. But it's all about club spirit, isn't it? Don't have the traffic lights ever been put to such a use before? Indeed, has there been a journey ever through the city of Coventry like this? Puts into shade the legendary one back in the 11th century for Lady Godiva. Nobody came to watch then on her commands. She sought to upstage her husband and make sure the people didn't have to pay the taxes. She said nobody should go because she wished to hide her modesty. Legend has it that one Peeping Tom was struck blind. Peeping Toms from every vantage point this afternoon to look at the footballers of 1987. Dave Bennett, Benno with the nice straw hat, preparing perhaps for a calypso. The directors at the back, including the vice chairman, Ted Stocker, who's made £50,000 on his team's success. And here they are, coming down High Street, having gone round Broadgate to the end of such a long journey. They will be on that balcony eventually when they can get off the bus. Just outside the old council building with the famous clock, and then they move across into the new building. Mickey Ginn with the cup aloft. Somewhere down in the crowd is Steve Lee, if he can make his way forward. I hope he'll be talking to one or two of the heroes later. Nick Pickering. Must say, I think that hat takes the biscuit. Cyril Regis. Haven't really been able to pick out the particular streets because the bus has been like a raft in the middle of an ocean, an ocean of massed ranks of Coventry City people. Keep Houchin come right at the front there, quiet, but we can't talk to anybody, of course, until they get off the bus, but we will be hoping to do so. Whether that's a teddy bear or a rabbit inside the cup. Certainly there were no Coventry City rabbits 24 hours ago. It was a marvellous comeback to a fine final. And there's the old Coventry song going up in the background, the Eton boating song originally. Jimmy Hill and Charles Harold together rewrote it, the words at least. Have you ever seen so many flags in your life? Patriotic British in the middle, the Union Jack. And John Sillett milking every last second. Really has emerged as a considerable character during this Coventry City success. He and George Curtis, appointed a year ago today. Lloyd McGrath, very quiet. What an effective job he did on Glenn Hoddle, Sport Hoddle's last performance for Tottenham. Greg Downs, David Phillips. Greg Downs typified Coventry spirit yesterday. He had a pretty horrendous opening 20 minutes against Chris Waddle, but stuck to his guns and came through it. If you're looking for the secret of Coventry City's success, it is surely their resilience. And still no attempt to get off the bus because there just is no way through. I think the bus has got to move a little bit further forward yet. One member of the constabulary seemingly unmoved, as they have to be, as finally George Curtis leads the way into the old council building, followed by John Sillett. Members of the board going through. Plenty of colour, but they haven't been concerned about the rain at all. It relented latterly, but it hasn't spoilt their day, and many of them have been there since well before noon to get a good vantage point at Journey's End. Again, we look back towards Broadgate, through the mass of flags. And when they get in, we hope we'll hear from the players.
Well, Greg Downs, has there ever been a welcome home quite like this?
Well, I've never seen anything like it. I was involved with the Norwich City one when they won the Milk Cup. We still got a bit hoarse with the shouting on the way here. But there must be 4 or 5 times more people here than when Norwich won the Milk Cup. It's phenomenal, isn't it? Incredible. Great.
The emotions of all the players seem absolutely perfect today. It was an absolutely perfect weekend for you, wasn't it?
Well, I mean, you can't write better than that, can you, in a script? It's all the lads, it's a dream come true, really. All I want to do now is win it again next year.
And do you think that's on the cards?
Why not? Why not? Maybe the league as well. We'll go for anything now.
What about the emotions last night? I gather the party went on a little late, didn't it?
Yes, I got to bed about 4:45, 4 o'clock, something like that, and up again at 7. So, I didn't feel my best this morning, but, my dear, don't care, just keep going.
OK, Greg, well done. Thanks for joining us. Mickey, Jim, a very happy man, but you look a little tired and emotional.
Oh, yeah, very tired, but brilliant, isn't it?
What about this? Have you ever seen anything quite like this?
No, I was speaking to Oggy, and he's been to a couple of finals with Liverpool, and he was saying, even the Liverpool fans aren't like this. He's never experienced anything like it, and I certainly haven't.
I reckon there's 250,000 people here. There's probably more
Really?
to actually get a final figure.
Yeah.
It was pretty tough for you to actually get here, wasn't it?
Well, it took us, I don't know how long, it must have been over 2 hours to get here, so it's well worth it. Amazing.
What about the game? Is that just a blur from yesterday?
Oh no, I can remember everything about the game. I really enjoyed the game. You know, I was relaxed, you know, beforehand and all through the game. So I'm really pleased because I know people have said that the game goes very quickly, but you know, it seemed to. Well, I enjoyed every moment of it.
And I suppose everybody will talk about that miss near the end. I guess you don't remember that too.
Well, fortunately, it didn't matter in the end, but I know it would have wrapped the game up. You know, I think there's about 5 minutes left, and it would have made it a lot easier for us. But thankfully, it didn't matter.
Okay, Mickey, Jim, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Well, I think you're in a bit of pain today, aren't you, Brian, with that leg?
Yeah, no, you can't really feel it for all the excitement that's going on today. Self-inflicted pain, I might add. But besides that, it's been a great day.
There's another glass of champagne for you.
I've been told I'm not allowed to drink at all because I'm going into hospital tonight.
Oh, it's as bad as that, is it?
Yeah.
What about the scenes on the way here? They were really quite amazing.
Oh, it's been absolutely electric. They put me on the bus first, propped me up in the front, and what an experience it's been coming into town. I think it's the longest journey I've ever took to come into town.
I wonder whether playing for Coventry is ever going to be the same again after all this.
I'll tell you one thing, you get a taste of this, it makes you want to come back here and experience it again. But they say the first time's always the best. But I think if you keep coming back here every year, it'll still be the same. Still magic.
What a fight back it was there by Coventry. I guess that's the thing you'll remember the most, wasn't it, from Wembley?
I think Coventry City in the cup final showed a lot of heart and character. That came out in the game. We went behind very early on, we pulled it back, went behind again, pulled it back. And then our strength just showed through and we managed to get the winner in the extra time.
Okay.
I was just very upset that I wasn't involved in the extra time football.
Well, we're all rooting for you. Thanks a lot, Brian.
Thank you very much.
Okay, good. Well, Steve, what a week for you. A new baby daughter and now this. It's been unbelievable, isn't it?
It's the best week of my life, really. I mean, to have, like you say, a baby daughter on Thursday, then to win at Wembley yesterday, and then come back to these type of celebrations, I mean, you can't really describe them.
So emotional this win has been for Coventry City, hasn't it? I mean, have you been aware, going on the route, just what it's meant to these people?
Yeah, without doubt. I mean, most football teams are in it for the football in respect that, you know, you think about Wembley. But there's been no success here for 104 years in terms of actually bringing a trophy home. And, you can hear them. Now they've got something, they're just going wild, and I mean, it's great to see.
What about the celebrations last night? I gather they went on pretty late, didn't they?
Very late. Well, very early, which way you look at it.
You're not prepared to say any more?
No.
Right, I guess everybody will be saying now, can you do anything to compare with this next season? It's going to really set you up to do a lot more, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got an hard act to follow, but I mean, Coventry City want to be successful. You've only got to listen to John and George. I'm sure they're not going to sit down and be content with what's happened this year. They're going to be building and building, like any side, like Liverpool having Everton and teams like that. I know for